Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 210. Andrew Eisen here. Alright, so let's get the depressingly bad stuff out of the way, and then we'll talk about the fun stuff that brings smiles to our miserable little faces. So, I'm not going to talk about Ubisoft this week. It managed to squeak by without doing anything new. That was horrible, at least none that I noticed. Of course, I wasn't exactly looking either. So we'll just pretend that Ubisoft is working on fixing issues it has. You know, like knowingly harboring and protecting sexual abusers and harassers, like it's been doing for years. Got some work to do there, but no new horrible things coming out of the Ubisoft corner this week that I heard. Instead, CD Projekt Red, uh, the company behind the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077. So, CD Projekt Red, uh, like many other companies, has been known for crunching the hell out of its employees, making them work overtime on weekends, ridiculously long hours. A lot of companies do that. That doesn't make it okay. But back in 2019, CD Projekt Red went on the record multiple times saying that it wasn't going to do mandatory crunch anymore. Things apparently will, things happen. Sometimes they'll ask employees to work overtime to make deadlines and stuff because, sometimes the kitchen catches fire and you lose a week or whatever. Stuff happens. You experience a cyber attack that puts you back a month. You know, but it wouldn't be mandatory. One interview with Jason. I asked him how to pronounce his name once. Schreier, I think. Uh, and he was polite enough to tell me how to pronounce his name, and I can never quite get it right. And I feel bad. I'm terrible with names, really. He asked one of the folks at CD Projekt Red, say I'm a designer at CD Projekt Red, Jason interviewing him says, and I say, you know what, I have kids, I have a family, I'm going to work from 10 to 6 every day, and that's it, even until the very end. Am I going to be okay with that? And CD Projekt Red said, yes, yes. Jason says, no matter what? CD Projekt Red says, yes. Jason says, so you can commit to that. And he says, we've committed to that already. So, CD Projekt Red, several people with it, have been on record multiple times saying that while there will still be overtime, it won't be mandatory, and they will do what they can to ensure that no one feels pressured to work long hours or extra days. Because you'll hear a lot of companies, and you have heard a lot of companies over the years saying, oh, overtime's not mandatory. We're not making anyone crunch. And while that may be technically true, you're the one with the power, so there's an implicit threat there. Oh, no, you don't have to crunch, but, they are. But you don't have to. No, no. But look what good employees they are. There's always that there's always at least the feeling of that expectation, that pressure. It's like, my God, am I going to be able to? I know they say that I can decline, but if I do, are they just going to fire me? So CD Projekt Red, again, for over years, been on a record saying we're revising how we're doing crunch. Will still utilize overtime, but we will pay people for overtime, and it's not going to be mandatory. So, steps in the right direction. CD Projekt Red lied. This week it was reported that not only is there going to be quite a bit of crunch leading up to the release of Cyberpunk 2077, but it's mandatory. Everyone is expected to be completing their typical, 40 hours a week, plus 1 day each weekend. They do clarify that they will still be paying people for that work, so people are getting paid for overtime, but the crunch is mandatory. Adam Badowski, who is one of the CD Projekt Red folks who has been on record in the past saying that no mandatory crunch, said, quote here, "I take it upon myself to receive the full backlash for the decision. I know this is in direct opposition to what we've said about crunch. It's also in direct opposition to what I personally grew to believe a while back, that crunch should never be the answer. But we've extended all other possible means of navigating the situation." Let me repeat that last one right there. Crunch should never be the answer, but we've extended all other possible means of navigating the situation. No, you haven't. Delay the game. That's a possible avenue for which to navigate this situation. Delay the game. Just because you're crap at managing projects doesn't mean you should mandatory crunch your employees. It's not healthy. I mean, I'm glad you're paying them, but you're also a liar. You're a terrible manager and you're a liar. Apparently, you only said this in the first place because you thought you were a better manager. You're like, oh, we'll definitely have it out in time so we won't have to crunch and I can get away with lying because we won't have to crunch. And then you went, oh, crap, I'm actually bad at this. And now we're going to have to crunch. So you're a bad manager and a liar. We've extended all other possible means of navigating the situation. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Delay the game. CD Projekt Red is both the developer and the publisher. You can delay the game. It's your game. You're publishing it. You can decide when to release it. You liar. Be better than that. Yeah, be better than the baseline of bad manager and liar. Gee, I hope the game's fun. Anyway, hey, let's move on to Disney. Because Disney, a very big company that employs a lot of people, which is kind of difficult to keep employing people when parts of the business require people to interact with other people, and we're still in a damn global pandemic. It's not safe to gather in large groups of people, which might make you think, well, shoot, the parks and resorts, which are some of the biggest earners for Disney, well, that sucks. I mean, I hope I hope they're taking care of all their cast members. So I read a statement from Josh Dar. Christ, why can't you people have names like Smith or Jones? Says Andrew Eisen, a guy with a last name that makes no phonetic sense in English. Damaro, I hope. Anyway, chairman of Disney Parks Experiences and Products, put out a statement saying, in light of the prolonged impact of COVID-19 on our business, including limited capacity due to physical distancing requirements, and the continued uncertainty regarding the duration of the pandemic, hyphen, Exacerbated in California by the state's unwillingness to lift restrictions that would allow Disneyland to reopen. We have made the very difficult decision to begin the process of reducing our workforce at our parks, experiences, and product segment at all levels, having kept non-working cast members on furlough since April, paying health care benefits. Uh, it goes on from there. So they're laying a bunch of people off because they can't open the park because, global pandemic. You have enough money to keep your cast members employed, Disney. Do it. Even if the richest among you, your top level CEOs, have to take a pay cut or no pay for a year, do it. Also, how in the ever-loving Hexville did the line exacerbated in California by the state's unwillingness to lift restrictions that would allow Disneyland to open make it through? What the hell is wrong with you? You're blaming California and it's unwilling. You make it sound like it's unreasonable to say that, yeah, you can't open Disneyland in the middle of a fucking pandemic. That gets people killed. Over 200,000 Americans are dead in the past 7 months because of a highly contagious fucking virus, Disney. The fuck is the matter with you? Well, look on the bright side, Disney. While the parks are a large part of your revenue, hell, it's larger than the film division. It's not the largest. Do you know where Disney makes most of its money? TV. Well, that's nice because we all have to stay at home right now with our TVs. So you're still going to make money, Disney. Granted, not as much if there were no pandemic. Granted, not as much as if this particular country, United States, had, like most other countries, handled the damn thing right in the first place. But it is what it is. So pull your head out of your ass, stop being assholes, don't fire your cast members, keep funding their health insurance through, again, a global fucking pandemic. Because one, it's the right thing to do, and two, you can more than afford it. You just have to want to. Matthew points out their film division is getting hit super hard too. It is. Uh, Everything really is getting hit super hard. There's almost no industries that are not getting hit super hard. This is not. This is affecting pretty much everyone. So yeah, I mean, if I was a small business owner and I owned let's say my YouTube channel was big enough that I actually employed a couple of people. Like I employed an artist for graphics and title card art, a sound person to do music, and someone else who does editing and camera operation. Like I employ 3 people. I probably would have to lay them off because it would be physically impossible for me to continue to employ them under these circumstances without some type of assistance. Those kind of instances, I'm completely sympathetic for. Small businesses where they have to let people go because they're not getting any damn help from the government and they genuinely can't afford to do it, it sucks. I get it. But Disney? No, they can afford it. They can afford it. They have the money to be able to weather this out. Not everyone does. Granted. Disney does. Oh, it's going to hit them in the pocketbook. Absolutely. I mean, that graph is going to look like boop, 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 2020, you know? Yo, yeah, that's going to hit them hard. They're going to notice. But, I mean, I would say that that's a fair trade-off. You know, my profits graph looks like that, and however long this lasts, in exchange for less people fucking dead. Fair trade-off. I would like to think that money would not corrupt me. I would like to think that if I were a rich person who employed a bunch of people to help me do my YouTube channel, that if I could afford it, I would continue paying my workers even though they couldn't come over here and like operate the camera. Yeah, it would kick me in the pocketbook. Yeah, I would be making less money, but if I could, I would. Because again, I don't have a ton of money, so maybe I just don't know how it is, but I would like to think that's what I would do. I would like to think that if I were faced with the situation where I thought, okay, I could make less millions in order to keep my employees on health care in the middle of a pandemic, which makes it less likely that they'll die, or I could fire them, taking away their health care, or at least putting them in a position of having to find their own health care, so I can make more millions of dollars. Yeah, that from a person of average means, below average, I don't know what my means are. Um, that doesn't seem like a hard choice to me. But what do I know? I'm one dude. I don't run my own business. I live in an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment. So maybe I just maybe I just can't understand um, it, unfathomably rich people's positions. Maybe you'd have to be there. In terms, Matthew says, I mean, in terms of revenue, Disney only has a TV Disney Plus at the moment. Um, well, and consumer products. I mean, it's four major divisions, or its biggest one is media networks, uh, it, television, streaming. Um, it owns a ton of that shit. That's where most of its money comes from. Next to that is the parks and resorts, which, yeah, that's a big hit because people can't go or shouldn't be able to go because it's not safe. Behind that is the studio entertainment stuff, the movies, and below that is the um, lunchbox consumer products, toys and lunchboxes and crap you buy at Target, right? Um, there's still that because people are still trying to. Although the mail is sucks right now, uh, and also trying to keep everyone who works at Amazon and other online order fulfillment services alive. Um, all of these segments of their revenue stream are definitely hit. Some harder than others, but they pull in over $10 billion a year. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they pull in enough money that they can do this. And when people's lives are on the line, to me, there's no excuse not to. Matthew says did some back of the napkin math. 1 billion, asking Disney to eat at least 1 billion a year for however long this goes is a bit much. I don't think so. I I don't think so at all. When you're making multiple billions and you have to give up some of those billions temporarily, I mean, this isn't going to last forever. Shouldn't have lasted this long, granted, but uh, Matthew points out even for Disney, 10 billion a year ain't sustainable. True, but neither's the pandemic. I mean, no one's asking them to do this forever, and I think that's something that a lot of politicians pretend not to understand when it comes to um, federal aid in its myriad forms. You hear things like, "Oh, well, we can't just pay people to live at home," blah 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 blah. It's like you realize this is temporary, right? Like the $600 for the unemployment benefits. That's only during the pandemic, and that ran out in July, I think. Um, that's not until the end of time. That's while we need to do it in order to ensure that people survive. And we're going to have to bail out industries too. We're going to have to do that. And we're going to have to do more than that now because of this country's utter failure in its response to the pandemic. Matthew says this is lasting at least another 12 months at this point. In this country, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, sorry, that's what you get when you elect genuinely incompetent, horrible people to run the country. You get a horribly run country by incompetent, terrible people. So stop voting for incompetent, terrible people. Say. So, yeah, middle finger to Disney. Disney, do the right thing, please, and stop. I mean, seriously, let me read that line again. Exacerbated in California by the state's unwillingness to lift restrictions that would allow Disneyland to reopen. You're right, Disney. We are unwilling to allow you to reopen in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Jesus Christ. So, I've dropped enough f bombs to last me for several weeks. So let's talk about happier, better, funner, more gooder things for the rest of the episode, shall we? Yes, yes, we shall. So, Monster Hunter World Iceborne Deluxe Super Edition 64 uh, has had what is apparently its final title update, and they added the Black Dragon Fatalis. And luckily, the in-game characters pronounce it Fatalis and not Fatalis or something weird, because when Elatrion came out, they all called him Alatreon. And every player went, wait, what? Alatreon? Should be Elatrion. Kaganeko-sama, no. I'll talk about... The Smash Brothers is on the list, though. That's last topic. So we're going to talk about Monster Hunter, then Mario Kart Live Home Crash Edition, whatever it's called, and then Smash Brothers Minecraft update. So, Um, incoming Monster Hunter World 2 for next gen in 3, 2, 1. I would imagine Capcom would wait until after Rise comes out before it starts hyping uh, World 2, I would think. I mean, I wouldn't expect to see World 2 until early 2020. What year are we in? 2022 at the most. Um, but who knows? So we'll see. Uh, oh yeah, there will absolutely, unquestionably be a Monster Hunter World 2. I mean, it may not be literally called World 2, but there will absolutely be one. Um, I would speculate, and it's all just speculation. I mean, after all, we remember that Capcom, same company, said Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube, exclusive, and it's gonna be awesome. Then a month before it came out, said, "Oh, it's gonna be coming out on the PS4 in 10 months. I'm sorry, the PlayStation 2 in 10 months." It's like, why would you say that? That the only thing that accomplishes is undercutting sales, your GameCube sales, you weirdos. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, would not be surprising. Rises comes out March of next year, March 17th. I don't remember. It's sometime in March. So the end of February, they start advertising World 2. It's like, what are you doing, you weirdos? So I would expect Rise comes out in March, and then the earliest we're going to hear about World 2 would be E3 time, so that summer, possibly for a fall, but more likely like winter 2022. Could be completely wrong about all that. That's what I would expect just based on pacing and history and stuff like that. So yeah, Matthew says maybe holiday 2021, but my guess is 2022. That's where I'm landing with that too. Anyway, so World Iceborne whatever is officially kind of over. The last major up. We're still having a spooky Halloween fest in 2 weeks, which I'm actually looking forward to because some of the items in that thing are pretty awesome. We get a new buff body armor, which I really like the fact that they made the the woman's version of that actually bodybuilder rather than a bit more athletically toned. I like the buff body armor, but for the female characters, I thought they could have gone further with it because the male version of the buff body armor looks great. I mean, it looks like big, obviously weightlifter male body type, and then the female body type is I mean, she's a little thicker. She's got a little bit more tone, but the new buff body armor looks like an actual female bodybuilder body type, and I really like that. There's also a new scarf that looks like a Toby Kadachi wrapped around your neck, which is adorable. Um, so looking forward to that. That looks fun. But in the meantime, we Fatalis came out, the big black dragon who is going to consume the world in fire. And so I still exercised that evening, even though I really didn't want to, especially because, video games. But I did my exercises, washed, and then I played the game, and they're like, but before you get to fight Fatalis, we gotta make sure you're ready, so go fight I'm sorry, Alatreon. So, they make you fight Alatreon again before they'll let you fight Fatalis, which, if you have not fought in Alatreon, it's a bit of a gimmicky fight in that you have to do the correct elemental damage to keep Alatreon from one-shotting your ass. Um, so if he starts in fire mode, you have to use not water, I learned this the hard way, but ice element damage to weaken him and keep him from eschaton judgmenting you to death. Then you have to break his horns so that he'll go back into the proper mode so that you have the proper... Because otherwise he'll switch elements and you'll have the wrong element and then you will die again. It's a cool fight. It's... I like it. But I didn't know I was going to be... But it's something you have to prepare for. You have to get the proper weapon, and I did not have the proper weapon. So, I carted, went back to camp, got the proper weapon and armor set up, you know, buffing my elemental attack and stuff like that. Go back out there, and either I played better than I have ever played before by like a factor of 10, or they severely nerfed poor Alatreon. Because one eschaton judgment and I killed it dead. I'm like, wow, did not expect you to false. Did I just sub 10 Alatreon? I have never been. I don't think I've ever sub 20 Alatreon. Um, uh, so I think they nerfed poor Alatreon for this. Yeah, Matthew says sounds like a nerf. It almost certainly is. There is no way that I took Alatreon down in like 8 minutes. It's possible to do that, but I don't. Hey, Twisted, picked up Gem in the Holograms. Oh, awesome. Hope you enjoy it. So once you beat Alatreon, then I thought it was going to be one of those. See, I didn't immediately go back to like Farcaster back to camp. I just sat there poking Alatreon in the ankles with whatever weapon I happened to have. I think I had Poison Element on, which doesn't do anything. Because I figured Fatalis would just swoop in and eat Alatreon at some point. No, that's not how they do it. You have to beat Alatreon, a nerfed version, but so I eventually Alatreon, killed me because I wasn't doing any damage. Put on the right stuff. I killed Alatreon really fast. And then you get like 10 some minutes of cutscenes setting up the final battle against Fatalis. The world's about to end. We have to gather the hunting commission from the old world and the new world to come together and work together as one to watch you kill Fatalis. Seriously, it's really funny. The commander and the admiral and the two guild guard peoples and the two handlers are all sitting up at the camp just kind of watching you by yourself take on the blood. We're moral support! Go! Now, to be fair, the excitable A-lister does help you out through the first half of the hunt, but, hey, Chaos Matthew says, welcome to RPGs. It's a common trope where I think one of my favorite examples is, I think it's Shadows of the Empire on the N64. Not an RPG, but my favorite bit is you, Dash Rendar, in the Outrider, whatever his ship is called, and Luke Skywalker is with you in his X-Wing, and you're flying around outside some enemy. It's not a Star Destroyer, but a big ship. And Luke says, all right, Dash, I'll patrol around out here. You go inside and do everything. And that has been an inside joke with my mom and I for decades. And that's so common in video games where you have this huge crew and they're like, all right, we'll secure the perimeter. You go inside where all the bad guys are and you do all the work. Yes, Kaganeko-sama, the N64 one. And Fatalis is little difference. You get one guy who has a heavy bowgun who helps you out, but he dies. Well, he carts halfway through the fight. But man, they really do a lot to set the stage for the final battle, and making it feel like this is a huge, powerful monster that could end the world. They do a really nice job. I'm proud to brag that I did not fail the quest by carting. I failed the quest because it took too damn long. You have a half-hour time limit on this quest because if the world-ending dragon comes to end the world, I mean, if you can't beat him in half an hour, why even bother? It's like, oh, that's 30 minutes. You know what? Screw it. Just let him engulf the world in flame. It's like, no, no, no. Give me 10 more minutes. I got this shit. No, no, it's all over. Pack it in, boys. Castle Schrade is Fatalis's. We're going home, and we're we're gonna get the Grand Meowster chef to cook us a last meal, cause someone couldn't beat the world-ending Black Dragon inside of 30 minutes. I could do it in 40. Not 30 or nothing, buddy. One of my critiques. One of my critiques for Iceborne, or now it would have been base game, is the siege quest against Zora Magdaros, big Godzilla-sized monster. There's two quests. The first one is Zora Magdaros comes and you have a gate and you're supposed to repel him so he doesn't knock over the fence because you worked really hard on that fence. And there's almost no build up, no lead in, no setup. You are dropped into a brand new arena that you have never seen before. You're being told to use equipment that, at this point in the game, you have never used. Now, if you've played previous Monster Hunter games, you're probably familiar with them. But at this, they're like, go get the one-shot binder, and I'm like, the what? What is that? Where is it? How do I use it? It doesn't work. You need ammo. Why isn't this already loaded? Where's the ammo? What's it look like? How do I use it? The cannons. I've never used a cannon. Do I have to manually load the cannon? Oh, I have to manually load the cannonball. Great. Where are the cannons? Use the Dragonator. The what? What is a Dragonator? Does it innate dragons? Where is it? How do I use it? I've never been in this stage before. How come there's no sequence that says, okay, Zora Magdaros is coming, so let's give us the grand tour. Here's where the binder is, and here's where the ballistae are, and here's where the cannons are, and here's the Dragonator, and here's what they do, and here's the fence that you don't want Zora Magdaros to walk through. None of it. They just drop you in there. It's this utterly confusing damn mess. Later in the game, the final stand against Zora Magdaros, Zora Magdaros is coming! Get a wing drake and get on its back! It's like, okay. So I do, and it says, now, defeat the magma cores! The what? What's a magma core? What does it look like? Where is it? Is there more than one? So I was not happy with the Zora Magdaros fights in the base game, because you figure it out after a while, but man, they just drop you in there and have no idea what the hell's going on. Hey, Kaganeko-sama, imagine real soldiers trying to protect the world without proper training. Yeah, there's no briefing. They just drop them somewhere and say, now defeat the bad guys. B says, I remember that episode of Leslie and Bob. Yeah, I was not happy with that. I'm like, where? What is that? I don't know what it is. Fatalis does that right. So you're on the ship heading to Castle Schrade, where you're pretty sure Fatalis is going to show up, because that's where it showed up centuries ago, so why wouldn't it show up there again? So you're on the ship, and the commander or admiral, someone lays out a map of Castle Schrade and says, okay, here's the map. This is the arena you're going to fight in. On the south end is a platform with two cannons on it. They will come preloaded. Over here and up here are the binders. The ammo is right nearby. The roaming ballista cannon thing is on this track over on the right. Up here is the barrier and Dragonator. So they show you what it looks like. The arena is really well designed, so you can't get turned around. There's a big castle on one side and not a castle on the other side, so you always know what direction you're facing. So you know where everything is. Um, it's really well done. They actually say here's the layout, here's the plan, here's what you're going to do, here's the weapons you can use, here's what happens, blah blah blah. The only thing that wasn't clear is the barrier gate on the north on the other side of the Dragonator. It wasn't clear to me what that was for. He says, and here's the barrier that you can raise with this switch here. And I'm like, great, why would I want to do that? Am I trapping the dragon on the other side of it? It has wings. It'll just fly over. It, am I supposed to hide from it over there, like from a big Eschaton Judgment AOE attack kind of a thing? That last one is actually what it's for. I mean, it's pretty easy to figure out because at the point in the fight, they're like, "Go hide behind the barrier, or you're gonna die." So, that part was slightly unclear, but it works itself out. Um, so Fatalis itself is a dragony dragon. It's very it has a lot of that crawly movement with its wings that like reminds its movement reminds me a lot of the dragon in Dragon's Lair, the movie with the Peter McNichol, which not a great movie, but that is one hell of a dragon. Even though I think that's 80s, man, the dragon in that movie is still badass. Watch, I mean, if you've never seen the movie, I'd recommend watching it. It's pretty goofy fun, but if you don't have the patience for it, at least watch the sequences with that damned dragon, because holy biscuits, it is super awesome. And so is Fatalis. It's a really fun fight. I only played it once the night it went live, 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, whenever it was. Um, because after I ran out of time, I worked on the other quest that was available because it had a really awesome armor set that I wanted. it's and it have required fighting a Frostfang Barioth. Um, and I needed 3 particular drops, and even with the Lucky Cat skill, which is supposed to give you a higher chance for quest rewards, I only got 1 drop each time. So I had to play that quest 3 damn times, which again only took me. Well, I'm for some reason I'm actually really good at Frostfang Barioth, so I'm that quest only takes me like 10 minutes. Um, but loading in and out, all in all, was probably 50 minutes or so. But I got my cool new outfit, so I was really happy about that. And also, there was the companion quest to get a longsword, but I don't play longsword. But I did the quest anyway, just for fun. It's a Volcana quest, which was fun. So I need to go back and play Fatalis. I will give one critique for the Fatalis fight. Fatalis is very heavy on the fire breath attacks. Um, Fatalis will do individual fireball shots. Will do like a flamethrower breath and just sweep that around the arena. Will and then has a really big area of effect cloud out in a cone shape in front of it. Um, Attack. There are a couple little broken columns in the arena, and he does his flamethrower attack that he's sweeping across the arena. I'm like, I don't need to evade window through this. Watch this. I'm just going to stand right behind this stone column, and he hits me through the stone column. I hate that. I really hate that. I hate how Anjanath can hit you with a fireball from through a tree. I hate how Volcana can hit you with ice breath through its ice blocks. And I hate how Fatalis can burn you alive through stone columns. What's interesting though is the wide cone-shaped attack. That one is blocked by the columns. Not the individual fireballs, not the flamethrower attack, but the really wide area of effect one, that one's blocked by the columns. I don't get that. So, no idea what Fatalis is weak to. If I had to guess, I would say dragon element. That seems like a safe bet. um, but I only played it once, so my field guide did not update, so I have no idea. But my strategy for going back would be to start with Gilly Mantle, which hides you from Fatalis's notice. So yeah, it's camouflage. So mantle up with the Gilly Mantle. Load the the cannons I think start with 2 or 3 cannonballs. So get Gilly Mantle on, load the cannons, point them at Fatalis, and fire. Then start attacking. You know, maybe gem in heavy artillery. You know, just to start off the fight on the right foot. So oh yeah, what's his name? Fatalis does a humongous screen clearing, destroy the environment and everything in it attack. That's what that barrier behind the Dragonator is for. They're like, oh god, it's doing a super move, run! And you go and you throw the switch and the door comes up and Fatalis just melts the damn door. So that seems like a one use. I hope Fatalis doesn't do that attack again, because I don't think I have anywhere else to hide. Um, but I ran out of time right before I think I got a call that the Dragonator was going to be ready in 1 minute, and then I ran out of time. So I have no idea how far through the fight that is. I don't know if I was halfway through or 3/4 of the way through or almost done. But it's not surprising to me that I ran out of time because it was my first attempt at the fight, and most of it was spent running around learning its moves and poking it in the ankle with a stick. You know. Um, Oh, also, don't poke it in the ankle with a stick. It doesn't do any damage. Hit it in the chest or the head. The head's kind of difficult because he's very tall and moves a lot, but chest takes some respectable damage. So, tenderized chest, which one of the updates is tenderize lasts longer now, which is nice. So you don't have to keep clutch clawing because I suck at that. So, oh, also do not wallbang Fatalis into the uh, platform where the cannons are, because then that destroys the platform and then you can't use your cannons. So anyway, fun fight. I look forward to trying to beat it. I mean, if I'm only halfway through the fight and I have to really start playing well, I that's going to be tough. But if I was fairly close in the first place, then it seems like a very doable, learnable fight. So let's see. Do I play World Online? I do not, because I don't pay for what is it? PlayStation Plus. Also, I'm a single player gamer. I'm not really into multiplayer stuff. So da 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 da. Twisted says, "What's he weak to? He's weak to dying." Yeah. Um, there you go. Uh, oh, he does the attack for the third time, and the way around it is to get behind him. Oh, that's amazing! I'm gonna do this world-ending attack. Okay, I'm gonna go stand by your tail. You have fun. It's probably like you know how when you're really sick and you vomit, and for some reason your body just like locks in place. Like, even if the house caught on fire, you would not be able to move until the contents of your stomach has been emptied into whatever receptacle is receiving your load. I imagine Fatalis is probably like that. It's like, okay, world-ending area of effect attack. Here we go. Ah! Wait a minute. The hunter ran behind me. Crap! I can't move. I have to finish. I can't just turn my head. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. That sounds funny. Um, Also, I'm kind of curious if you repeat, because the first half of the quest, you have the excitable A-lister with a heavy bowgun as your support. Um, is he gonna help you out when you replay the quest? I mean, once you beat the special assignment the first time, and it becomes just an optional quest that you can redo to farm Fatalis. Is he there, or do you have to take care of everything yourself? I don't know. I guess I'll have to beat him and find out. But it's fun having the A-lister there who holds his own really well. He never carded or anything. He just sat there pot shotting Fatalis. So anyway, nice update, Capcom. I quite enjoyed it. Quite. All right, so moving on. Mario Kart live home derby. Actually, what is it called? Home circuit. Home circuit. Okay, so Mario Kart Live home circuit. Nintendo Channel put out two new videos this week for Mario Kart Live home circuit. The one, the AR game, the augmented reality game, where you have a physical RC car with a camera, and the camera feed goes to your Switch. So you're driving an RC car on a makeshift Mario Kart course in your living room or wherever you are. Um, so that's neat. It's way too expensive, but it's super neat. So they had one that did basically an overview of the game, and nothing particularly new. A couple details. As we all expected, how you set up the courses is you set up the gates, the little cardboard gates that you drive through, and then you physically drive your RC car on the path through the gates that you want, and that will create the course for you. So I'm guessing there's no way to actually save a course. You're going to have to set up every single course every single time. Because I, if you had the ability to save courses, I imagine you'd have to mark up your floor with gaffer tape or something to make sure you put the damn gates back in the right spot. So, interesting to know how that works. Also, it does do different CC, 50cc, 100cc, so different difficulty levels, the cart will go faster. There are actually the camera augmented reality bit will actually overlay new graphics for the cart and the cart and Mario's costume. So that would be one way to do new characters, but also it will make the cart look different. So if you want spiky tires or a different cart in general, it'll just overlay that graphic. So that's neat. They also pointed out that the recommended space is 10 by 12, which is not huge, which is good. Some of us live in fairly small places. If it's probably hard to figure out depth in my apartment, but my living room is essentially 10 by 12, 120 square feet. It's about 10 feet to the wall behind me. And then if you look at these DVD shelves, these shelves are almost 3 feet in width. So 4 of those is about 12 feet. So this from about here to here is about 12 feet, it's closer to about that maybe. And then from me to the back wall is 10. So essentially, I'd have to put my couch over there in the kitchen, or put the couch up on the wall or something. But my question remains: does the little cart drive okay on carpet? I don't know, because every setup they've shown in all of the previews I've seen has been hardwood floors. Now, I imagine you could take it outside onto the sidewalk or a patio or like a basketball court in a park or something like that, and that would work fine. But I'm genuinely curious, will these things drive on carpet? Would be nice to. I'm guessing they don't drive very well because they're not saying anything and they haven't shown anything, so that's that's gonna limit, I would think, a lot. I'm not alone here, right? Y'all still have carpeted homes, carpeted floors. There's everyone in hardwood and laminate now. Mm. Kaganeka-sama says, so the cart drives itself when you're playing? No, you're driving the cart. So you essentially you're using the Switch as the RC remote. Um, do 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 do. Twisted says, I've heard it drives well on most carpets. Maybe not well or at all on shag or something, but I haven't heard anything, any mention of carpeting in any of the promotional stuff I've seen. So, um, Beast says, I bet it doesn't work at carpet at all. Chaos says, apparently it's not recommended for outside use. Great. Hey, Suzanne. Um, okay, Beast is carpet, so we both have carpet. Nice. There is one shot of one of the setups, which is all hardwood floors, but there's like a small area rug, more like a placemat on the floor. It's not like really fuzzy carpet. It was hard to tell what it was. Looked more like a anti-slip strip or something like that. It's weird. Susanna's hardwood. Twisted as a combination of. I have a laminate in the kitchen and bathroom. Other than that, it's all carpet here. Um, but I have to say the technology behind it, the concept and execution is genuinely really cool. Um, it's apparently $100 for the cart. Um, or well, I mean, the cart gets you the little the bits of cardboard and stuff, but I think it could come with a couple more bits of cardboard, being that it's cardboard. But hey. Nintendo also did something which is pretty cool, and they did a developer interview, a 5-minute video showing off the developers of the game, Valan Studios, uh, which, so far as I can tell, is just an independent developer who had an idea for a AR RC game, augmented reality RC car game, and then they were prototyping and they were playing with it and like, this is cool, but is it just me or is this totally Mario Kart? So they went to Nintendo and Nintendo said, wow, this is really cool. This is totally Mario Kart. We should work together to make Mario Kart. Rather, and Nintendo didn't sue them or, just make it anyway. Nintendo, all what it looks like is Nintendo said, "Hey, this is a neat idea. Work with us to bring this to fruition," and gave them a 5 minute, well, 4.5 minute spot on their YouTube channel to show off some of the early prototypes and their involvement, and that's really very cool. I Well done, Nintendo. That's pretty gosh darn cool. Twisted says, "Does the cart come with the game?" Uh, kind of. What's in the box is the cart, the cardboard for the gates, and two other cardboard pieces for just signs, and a charging cable. The game is you download it from the eShop. So I would imagine that anyone can download the game from the eShop, but if you don't have a cart, then you can't actually do anything with it. So I doubt there would even be a code for it. It's probably just a free download. But is this history class? No. So if you didn't do your homework, don't matter to me. Um, so, am I going to buy it? Hell no. It's way too expensive, and I don't have the room for it, and I don't know if it runs on carpet. I mean, it is prohibitively expensive. As I mean, I understand why it's $100. Apparently, what's their name? Velan Studios had an issue with the batteries in their original prototypes, and it was Nintendo R&D that helped them design a better battery solution. So, how long does it last? They didn't say, but apparently it's better than the prototypes. Um, but yeah, you can play 4 players, I think. But everyone needs their own cart, which is $100, and everyone needs their own Switch to drive it, which is $300. At least when you can find them. No one can find them right now for less than like 450. Um, I believe there's only 2 carts. There's a Mario Kart and a Luigi Kart, but I think a single game can use 4 carts at once. You'd have to have. It's for rich kids, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's pretty steep, and I have to wonder. I guess it's kind of got to be like Lego. The appeal has to be in the setting up of courses because they didn't say, but it looks like something where every single course you want to race, you're going to have to take the time to set that up beforehand every single time. So, on the other hand, maybe it can record a course and you just put the car on the floor, it'll retrace the course and you just follow along with it and put the gates on it. Maybe you could do that. I don't know. I would doubt that. That sounds just too cumbersome. But for those, if I didn't explain it before, you put the 4 gates down and then you drive your car through it in any way you want, and that becomes the course. One of the really smart things about this is the carts themselves, the little RC cars, they don't really go that fast. But when you're watching through the camera on the back of the cart, it looks a lot faster because of the different scale. So they're only going, they're not going fast. But when you're watching it through the on the Switch screen, it looks a lot faster. So it's so well done, Velan Studio. Great idea. I'm glad you got to work with Nintendo, and kudos on Nintendo collaborating with, as far as I'm aware, an unknown and giving them their time in the spotlight. Showing them off, not saying, "Oh yes, we Nintendo came up with this," and burying the. No, they're spotlighting the studio that actually brought this to them, and I admire that. That's very nice. Um, what about the carts crashing into each other? Probably not going to be a problem unless you start making really high jumps or something. Because again, the carts just don't move very fast. So if they bump into each other, it's probably not a big deal. Um, Suzanne's like, I want the Luigi cart, but I'm worried my dogs will attack it and eat the cardboard gates. That's a problem. That could be an issue. Twisted says their solution to multiplayer reminds me of Double Dash's LAN setup, where you could have 8 whole setups of GameCube, game, TV, LAN adapter, and network switch. Yeah, I remember LAN parties. That was a thing. Remember when people would actually, local LAN parties where people would physically drag their computers, which were a lot back then. Most of us all had, the really big tube monitors um, that were like 15-inch square screens that had really big asses on them because they were the tube monitors, and these big boxes and things and cables all over the place, and oh my God, what a mess that was. But a lot of people enjoyed it. So All right. Now, final topic. Let us talk about Smash Brothers. Brothers who smash. Oh, that sounds terrible. Um, Twisted says, "I wonder if you could make ramps with this new Mario Kart." You could. I I don't know what the sensors on it would do if it. I don't know if it figures out elevation or anything like that. I haven't seen anything about ramps. None of the demos use ramps. I would imagine the most you're going to want to do is like a couple of inches at most. I don't think you want to be dropping this off like the arm of a couch or anything. You don't want them falling a full foot. Maybe a couple of inches, you know, ramp it off a book or something. But yeah, it costs $100. Don't break it. Anyway, so the seventh new DLC character for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate was announced this morning. Was it this morning? I don't know. I think it was this morning. Uh, no, no, no. The big explanation of everything was this morning. The character trailer was a day or two ago. So Minecraft Dude is now a playable fighter in, or on October 13th or something. It will be a new playable fighter in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and Masahiro Sakurai is looking a little thin to me. Take care of yourself, buddy. Make sure you're eating proper, cause you're looking a little reedy to me, man. So best of health to you, buddy. I hope you and your team aren't being too overworked. Um, his name is Steve and Ellen, Ashley, Francis, Aubrey, Becky, Melissa, Alex. Thank you, thank you, Twisted. There we go. I think I had a couple A names that I guessed. So Steve and Alex are they're just palette swaps, but they play exactly the same. So you've got four different. So you've got Steve in four different variants, Alex in I'm sorry, three different variants. Alex in three different variants, and then you've got a zombie and Enderman, which is a thin-armed black creature with really thin eyes. I don't know what that is supposed to be. I don't even recognize it. I assume that is a Minecraft thing. It reminds me of Slender Man. Oh my god, it totally Enderman. It is. It's a Slenderman knockoff, isn't it? River says I feel Nintendo wasted a character slot. Zombie and Slender Guy. Okay, yeah. So that's definitely a ripoff of Slender Man. But uh, I nah. I mean, Minecraft is. I mean, if you made a list of the most important or influential games of all time, Minecraft is going to be on the list. It's huge. There's a generation of kids who grew up with Minecraft as a touchstone of their gaming careers. People my age probably remember more Super Mario Brothers, stuff like that. But kids who were people who were half my age, Minecraft was a big thing. So I certainly don't. I have no love or interest in Minecraft at all. The game bores the hell out of me. I was did a video years ago that required having a gun as a prop. So I went to a friend's house who owned a gun so I could shoot the video. And his son was there playing Minecraft. And I watched him for a while and I thought, how are you having fun? I mean, he was totally engrossed, but I could not figure out what the hell it was about that game that he was finding enjoyable. Bores the hell out of me. But yeah, Not everything has to be for me. It would be nice if everything was for me, but not everything is, and I guess that's okay. But anyway, if Minecraft does it for you or doesn't, there's still 4 more slots for everyone who wants Geno for some reason or Mallow. I I don't care about either of those two either, and I thought Superstar Saga Super Mario RPG was just fine. Um, do 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 do. Hey, Twick. Buh, 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 buh. So, the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, but what I find most fascinating, I have absolutely zero interest in playing Smash Brothers, any of them. It's just not a game type that I enjoy. But I am a Nintendo fan and I am a video game fan, so I still love Smash Brothers. Greedily devour all of the news regarding all of the Smash Brothers games. I love the development diaries. I love when they were doing the development blog back for Brawl or Melee or whichever one it was. I love all that stuff. I excitedly see which new characters are added and all the new modes and the different levels and all the moves because I'm a video game nostalgia dork. It's like that's a thing I know. That's amazing. So even though I have personally no love for playing either Smash Brothers or Minecraft, I happily watched the entire 45-minute presentation of Sakurai going over the Minecraft characters, Steve and Alex, and showing off how much thought and attention to detail and effort went into bringing this character to life in Smash Brothers. I mean, they didn't just let's clone Fox and overlay the character model and adjust some of the moves and call it a day. No, they take this stuff super seriously. Um, I mean, the Minecraft character actually has a mining mechanic where you have to actually smack the ground with a pickaxe to get materials to power your various attacks. So that requires them to actually go back through all of the stages and tag each uh, element of the stage with a different type, like wood or stone or metal or dirt or whatever, so you're mining the correct stuff. That's what an amazing pain in the ass that must have been. So yeah, Smash Dojo for Brawl. That's what River. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Um, River says I'm usually chilling in the trail streams. Yeah, unfortunately, I will be playing trails tomorrow afternoon, noon Pacific Standard Time. Unfortunately, I didn't have any time to play it this week. I guess I could have played it like Wednesday night or whenever, but I was playing Monster Hunter instead because Fatalis update. Um, Siberian Tiger says, I like the first and second one the best. If I'm honest, I don't see how it's a competitive game. I feel more like a party game than anything else. I, I, not my area of, where did it go? Here we go. Not my area of expertise. My sense is that the general flow of the game is too random to be competitive. Like, I would imagine most competitive players want it to be as pure skill as it possibly can, and there's just too much random elements. But from what I understand, the game is so customizable that you can probably just turn off all the random elements, like the items and stuff. And I think they got rid of random trips. So because I think it was what Brawl, where characters occasionally would just fall flat on their face. I bet tournament peoples hated that. It's like I would have won if he didn't friggin' trip. Um, but yeah, I would say that Smash Brothers is on the spectrum, leaning more towards party game than solidly in tournament fighter. But it depends on what you want in a game. Either way, I don't care. I have no interest in playing the game. Once I see a character and its stage and listen to the music and see all the moves, and then I'm done. I don't need to play it. Like I don't even have any interest in actually watching other people playing the game. Just it's just a mess. I just I love video games, and this is just a product of love for video games. So I love watching the love that went into this game. And then I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Back to Monster Hunter. I go back to something else. So, Suzanne says, "Low talk about random low skill Mario Party." Oh yeah, another game I genuinely just don't really care for. Again, it's a multi. I'm just not a. I don't like playing with other people. Like I actually downloaded Mario 35, Super Mario 35 today because I said, oh hey, I could put that as a milestone or stretch goal. Stretch goal would probably be easier to understand for the Extra Life charity event. It's like, great, if we raise X amount of dollars, I'll play Mario 35 for half an hour. It would probably be more interesting than watching me play Tetris 99, which I also downloaded and tried real quick, and it's like, it's fine, but I don't like other people interrupting my game. Um, Suzanne says, I love Mario 35. Okay, well, I forget what I set it at. I'm still hammering out the fine details of the Extra Life charity event, but currently I have, let me see where I put it. That's the $900 stretch goal, so Super Mario 35. Uh, well, we're about done with the stream. Oh, you won 4 times? Well done. I played it once and I did not win. I was in the, I think I got 10th or something like that. Then I played one round of Tetris 99 and I think I got 35th or something. So not terrible, but is Dave coming? No, no one's coming. Sorry, it's just not safe to get people together. So um, hopefully there's no DDoS attack on the charity site this year. Yeah, that was a problem. Um, yeah. Sadly, Dave and my sister won't be able to be here because pandemic. It's just not safe. But you might see him pop up in the chat, and I'll do my best to stay awake. So may as well plug it real quick. So it's November 7th, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, Saturday, November 7th, starts at noon Pacific Standard Time. I'll be playing video games for 24 hours straight to raise money for Rady Children's Hospital here in San Diego. Siberian says Andrew doesn't play well with others, not even his reflection. Um, the main game will be Breath of the Wild. I would like to actually complete that game before Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity comes out, so I think I'll use the charity event to do that. Intermixed with Super Mario Maker 2. Last year, everyone who donated, donors could submit Super Mario Maker 2 levels for me to play, so donate $10 and give me a course ID, and I'll spend at least 20 minutes playing that level. We had a ton of fun with that last year, so I'm bringing it back this year. One of the updates allowed you to make super worlds. So for $50, I will spend an hour on whatever world you make, and that's up to 40 levels. I'm definitely not going to beat it, but I'll play it if you want. We'll play some Ring Fit Adventure, and the more money we raise, the more weight I'll strap to my body. So that should be fun. Our mature game is House of the Dead Overkill. So if we raise enough money, we'll take a break at midnight to play some of that. I added the Super Mario 35 stretch goal. $50 you can name a horse in Legend of Zelda. That was we did Legend of Zelda a couple of years ago, and that was fun. And one of the big incentives this year is everyone who donates $50, not all at once, but if your donation total adds up to $50, you will automatically be entered into a raffle, and unless you tell me otherwise, which is fine, to win a custom digital illustration of a character of your choice from freelance illustrator Lindy Lee, who you'll recognize from the chat, especially during the Trails streams. She's an animator and a very nice one, and she offered one of her custom illustrations to auction off. So what we're going to do is everyone who donates $50, I'm going to get you a lot, like a poker chip with your name on it, throw it in a bowl, and then at the end of the night, stir it up, pull one, and whoever wins gets to commission Lindy to draw them a custom digital portrait of a fantasy character, video game character, anime character, cartoon character, whatever they like. My page has a couple examples of stuff she's drawn. Lenore from Castlevania, Catra from She-Ra, Samus from Metroid. So I think that'll be fun. Also, every $10 above 50 that you donate, you get an extra entry into the raffle. So if you donate $75, that's 3 entries. That's 3 chips in the bowl. So, oh hey Lindy, how you doing? There she is. So that'll be fun. That's November 7th. Starts at noon Pacific Standard Time. We'll run till noon the next day. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter at Andrew Eisen. I'll start really advertising the. I'm still setting up the page and everything. It's extra-life.org/participant/Andrew Eisen if you want to check out what I have there. It's still under construction. The actual dollar amounts and milestones and stuff might shift around a little bit, but here, let me. I'll put it in the chat for you if anyone wants to check it out. extralife.org/participant/Andrew Eisen. There we go. Oh, that because I typed Andrew Eisen, it okay. Let me go about that a different way. That's funny. All right. Let me get the participant ID link because that separated my name out. Doop doop doop. There we go. There we go. That's better. That one should be clickable. So keep in mind, I'm still updating the page, still deciding on format and things like that. If you have any questions, just hit me up on, wherever, here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Suggestions, if I spelled something wrong, let me know. You can see some of Lindy's art in the raffle section of that page to get you all excited to donate. And if you want to make Super Mario Maker 2 levels for me to play, you've got a month. So also, if you want to donate and tell me to play a level, it doesn't have to be one you made. It can be one from the community that you like. That's fine too. So that's it for the podcast. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me this evening. Come back tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time, and we will play some Trails in the Sky. Looking forward to getting back to that because it's been like a week or so since I've been able to play it. Last we left off, we're going to the school. What's her name? Chloe's school to do a school festival and take part in the school play. So it should be lots of fun. Looking forward to it. So that's noon Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, both here on YouTube and on Twitch if you prefer to watch there. And yeah, that's it. So again, thanks. Sorry for being so heated and dropping so many F-bombs in the beginning of the podcast, but I'm passionate about these things, you see. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.